Have you ever seen a Spider-Man game trailer that was so good that you committed a crime to play it? Hi there, I'm Socks in the flesh, and I am ashamed to admit this, but I have broken a law to play a video game. No, before you put me in your cringe compilation, hear my tale about a Spider-Man game that changed my whole perception of what a video game could be and how it led me down a life of crime. In 2008, I sat glued to the television screen. My heart sank at the sight of Spider-Man, his usual witty demeanor replaced with a heavy cloud of despair. An eerie melody echoed throughout my room as I watched my favorite hero solemnly walk towards the edge of a building. With a heavy heart, I watched as the world crumbled around my beloved hero. His once vibrant city, now a shadow of its former self, consumed by darkness. Its heroes and villains alike ensnared by malevolent symbiotes. Amidst the turmoil, Peter Parker, the man behind the mask, grappled with the weight of responsibility. His mind raced with questions about the fate of his home, his loved ones, and himself. As the music swelled once more, the tension reached its peak. Spider-Man teetered on the edge of oblivion. His very essence threatened to be engulfed by the sinister allure of venom. In a moment of desperation, he succumbed to the allure of the black suit, a visual manifestation of his inner turmoil. Its sleek design exuded a sense of menace, a stark contrast to the heroism it once symbolized. As the darkness closed in around him, Spider-Man stood on the precipice of a harrowing transformation. His future uncertain, and his soul hanging in the balance. Okay. The game wasn't that intense, but the moment I watched this trailer, my jaw was on the floor. It was so different from any other Spider-Man game trailer I've ever seen. It didn't have like an upbeat rock anthem or a humorous Bruce Campbell voiceover like previous trailers had. This game took itself seriously. From the stark differences in combat between the agile red suit and the impactful powerful black suit, the thrilling set pieces of the shattered and disheveled New York, and a plethora of recognizable characters from Marvel lore, capped off with an epic stare down of Spidey and a Godzilla-sized Venom, all combined to create a Spider-Man game experience unlike anything I'd ever seen before. And all I knew at the time is I must have this game. Unfortunately for me, my mom wouldn't let me buy another game that year, leaving me longing, and I mean longing for many months. My 12-year-old brain couldn't stop thinking about this game, leaving my mind wonder what the game had in store for me. Then, a glimmer of hope emerged when I discovered that my friend from school had a copy of the game, albeit one with an extremely scratched up disc. With a mix of desperation and determination, I asked if I could have it, and he humorously advised, scoffing that it wouldn't work anyways. But I had a scheme in place. You see, near my house, there was a Family Video, a Blockbuster-like video rental store. They also rented out video games for like $5 a day. Without telling my parents, I scraped together some cash, rented a copy of Spider-Man Web of Shadows, and unbeknownst to anyone, I had no intention of returning it. I swiftly ran home and locked myself in my room, shutting the blinds, then proceeded to execute my scheme. I opened up a fresh copy of the Xbox 360 version of the game, and like Indiana Jones, I swapped the newer copy for my friend's scratched up disc. But that was only one part of the plan. Later that day, I returned to the same family video to return the game I just rented out. As the teenage employee asked me why I wanted to return this game so early, I put on an Oscar-winning performance about how I was betrayed that a fine establishment such as Family Video would sell me a faulty product, and how it practically ruined my day. I used the same move I witnessed my father do when he wanted a discount rate at Best Buy. I broke a sweat wrapping my whole elaborate tale up in dissatisfaction. Thinking back on it, I'm pretty sure they just knew I was trying, what I was trying to do, and they just granted me a refund for the scratched up game anyways. I was too eager to wait for the weekend to play the game, so the next day I coughed and moaned about an illness just so I could skip school. All so I can indulge in an uninterrupted binge of the game, and I've been chasing that high ever since. I know this story sounds a little silly, but this was the definitive Spider-Man game as a kid, and I constantly felt left out at school because all my friends had been playing and talking non-stop about this game. My family didn't have as much as money growing up, so I only got maybe 1 or 2 games a year. Looking back, I did steal, which is not the most morally correct thing to do. And I wouldn't suggest anyone else did what I did. I mean, you literally can't due to the fact that most video game rental stores don't exist anymore. However, I don't regret because not only I got to play a genre-defining game that set my expectations for what a superhero game could be through the use of narrative choices, engaging boss battles, and a stellar soundtrack, I got to be a part of something nationwide. Engaging in theories and debates with friends at a time in my life where I felt different for being one of 5 brown kids in my primary upper middle class white neighborhood. And that's something I'll never forget about this game. Thank you so much for watching my criminal confession, and I hope somehow you can relate to this story. And if you have something to get off your chest, please comment below. I promise I won't call the cops. Unless it's something real fucked up. Shout out to Brown Table for getting me to think about Spider-Man game trailers, and stay tuned next week for my very own ranking of every Spider-Man game trailer. Until next time, fair winds and safe travel, mates.